Hey, Toph here. I am super excited to be a new addition to the Golden Guardians team and really is interested to find out what Leigh, Head of Esports, has planned for this new investment into Smash.
Awesome. Yeah. So we approached Smash this year, having such a great last year with Zane and really getting to know and appreciate how just hardcore this fan base is, just wanting to do more, basically just wanting to do a lot more. And so we looked at this approach at basically 4 pillars. 1, we wanted to sign more people and really invest in them and support them being successful in accomplishing their goals. 2, create some team up content, hope that the synergy, the sum is greater than the whole of its parts of all of these individual people who are connecting with the community. 3, we had a great time with the Octagon last year and had a lot of fun. We want to put on more of those types of things. And 4, we want to give back to the community and help ensure that the roots of Smash are just as strong or even stronger in the future. And for that, we started the Grassroots Fund.
Wow. Okay. So that's really cool to hear. And I'm just, me being one of the people sort of involved in this question, what in particular did you see in us and in me and the rest of the players that made you feel like we were the right fit for Golden Guardians?
Yeah, we started with Zane really, and it came in with this idea that we were looking for a group of people that we could bring together to do stuff. And who was he interested in, and who did he want to work with? And he said, I get a bunch of names, whatever you do, just don't sign Toph. And we said, ooh. But no, we wanted to get a diverse skill set, right? Like a bunch of people with slightly different backgrounds, with different things that they would be able to bring to the content team, different perspectives, geographic diversity is helpful, all of this kind of stuff, and put that together. And really worked closely with Zane on who would he be excited to work with, right? Like who does he think would add a unique voice? And that was going out, talking to a bunch of different people. And I think the mix, it speaks for itself, but I'll go through it briefly. Like you've got this amazing history, your ability, I think, to host content for us, to lead the direction, to be a creative voice behind the scenes and what we should be working on and how we bring all this together. PP's just got so much history in this scene, so much valuable experience. I think just such an interesting career start to not finish. And, the future for him, I think it's bright in a bunch of different areas. Zane is the best player in the world. I mean, he's amazing. We already had him, but I think his ability, to connect, to have interesting things on his YouTube, to work incredibly hard and be analytical, I think is super great. And then None, he was sort of the newest person to me as I was doing the deep dive here. And just when I refer to him as kind of an actor competitor, I think his ability to just be off the wall in unusual ways and commit to stuff, I think it's just going to be great, and is how we look to bring all this content together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big fans of everybody on the roster. I've had, when me and Bobby did the reads before COVID, we had None. I had None over and housed him for a weekend. That was super fun. PP obviously, and I go way back with, and Zane is just incredible. So I mean, I think it's an awesome roster. Was really, really excited personally when I heard, when I kind of heard what the vision was. And, speaking of that, we have already actually made some content that I think already the fans are going to really enjoy. So, for everyone kind of watching this, you're going to want to follow all our channels and just kind of make sure you're staying tuned for that. Hunter, the first kind of way I got involved with Golden Guardians was last year. You guys put the Octagon on when I was still external. And I mean, I was really impressed by that. I thought it was like just the kind of, even just the branding and the graphics were just really, really on point. It was just really impressive for like the first foray, I think, of an esports team getting into Smash, which gave me a lot of like, I was really impressed with Golden Guardians already from that point. I've kind of had my eye on the org myself. Are there any other events that, this year, besides you mentioned the Octagon, any other events you want to speak on that you want to put together?
Yeah, so I think I don't want to be too prescriptive. One of the things I'm really excited about this mix of people is that I hope that we have so many good ideas. It's really just a question of which ones to do. And I think our goal is going to be, hey, let's do 2 more, sort of big scale events this year, Octagon size events this year. But what specifically they are, I think we want to leave open to the sort of the flow and what's going on in the moment and in the scene and everything else. And I think when I was at Yahoo and we rolled out Yahoo Rivalries back in the day, the Smash event, the goal that we had there, and I continue over, was like, we want to be additive to the scene, right? And so these events that we're putting on, the content that we're making, it should all feel like it's filling a void that maybe we didn't even realize was there. there before we started this idea and you guys started talking. And it's like, oh, great, nobody is doing this kind of thing. We should do that. I think some of the content that we're rolling out should do that immediately, right? Some stuff. But I think as we think about, okay, it's, September or whatever, right? Like what would be a nice event this time of year? We're going to be looking for what's not going on here and try to do something that feels new and really adds to the space.
Speaking of events, we've got a lot kind of that we've been talking about for this, kind of online only era with the pandemic and whatnot. But as that kind of ramps down and we kind of get back to, hopefully IRL events, towards either the end of the year or next year, what's the long-term vision here with events? Like what are you looking at into the future?
I think we've said this publicly, a bunch of this, but, the Warriors constructed Chase Center and opened it here in our home in the Bay Area in San Francisco, late 2019. And I think the future for Golden Guardians events in general is to have Chase Center be a destination where we can, really pioneer or like bring to life the sort of next version of translating that digital and physical barrier that esports has in general. And there's no game better suited to do that than Smash, right? Which is already taking this relatively ancient technology that is like hyper physical when we're not in the online world and trying to make that digital already. And I think we want Chase Center, broadly speaking, Golden Guardians, to be a place where some of the most interesting events are and people can get their hands on esports in some ways, but also, from the big scale, like giant stuff that's taking over the whole stadium to smaller things. Specifically in terms of Smash, I really want to let you guys tell me what we should be putting on and let the community bring to us more good ideas, that we want to do later this year or the next year that can be, I think, simple one night only things to bigger things when they fit into everybody's calendar. Melee, when it's really up and running, has a lot going on, right? So I can't imagine we're rolling out like a 7-week series where we're trying to take over everybody's calendar for a long time. It's going to be like little, quick hits here or there, one weekend stuff that doesn't step on anybody's toes or cause any problems in the broader competitive schedule.
That actually, I think, transitions really well to the last thing, I think we should talk about, which is the grassroots fund, the Golden Guardians, Smash Grassroots Fund. So, I know we already had some conversations there, but that was actually when I was kind of hearing the vision. That was one of the things I was the most kind of impressed by as well, was just the fact that, you are looking to kind of prop up what's already there. So do you want to speak a little about the Grassroots Fund and kind of what the goal there is?
Yeah, I think it's hard for anybody who kind of starts getting into this scene to not just be super impressed by the dedication and the passion of people playing in locals and small tournaments all over the country and all over the world. And when we think about how to strengthen the scene, how to contribute to it, and make sure that it just is as healthy and as vibrant as it can be, I think in this scene that really looks like giving back to exactly that kind of grassroots origin that takes somebody like Zane from being a kid in college who just starts playing Smash with his friends and at local tournaments to being the best in the world. That pipeline doesn't exist in the same way in most of the big esports anymore. And this is a place where I think where, Smash should hold on to it fiercely. And I think we can help do that. So we put aside a big chunk of money, $50,000, that we want to dole out where it can really do some good at that grassroots level. And we're going to have a way for people to tell us, hey, what does $500 do for your small event? What does $1,000 do for your small event? I don't know, maybe what does $2,000 do a lot of for your small event out there in the country? And how can we help sure that your local scene, right? These kind of regions that have come to be defined in the fighting game scene and the Smash scene over the years, how can we help strengthen each region around the country?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Again, really honored to be part of the team, and super excited for what the year and further will hold.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We have a ton of fun stuff that kicks off next week. If you hit all our social channels and the YouTube channel, I think you'll be front of line for all these things. I think it's just the start, but even the start I think is going to be super fun, and I'm really excited to see and watch everything that we've got going on. So thanks for watching this, and stay tuned for more.